if what I'm reading is true, if what I'm seeing is accurate, it is very possible that a lunatic, rabid, far-left Muslim socialist named Zohran Mamdani is going to be elected mayor of New York. I talked to a couple of NYPD officers over the weekend here, and they are actually terrified. I had one guy tell me, he's been an NYPD cop for 20 years, and he said, look, I'm not afraid of bad guys. We got to deal with bad guys. This was a cop who works in the vicinity of the Port Authority. 42nd Street near 8th Avenue, where the Port Authority is located, is considered one of the most dangerous blocks in Manhattan. And a lot of bad things happen there. I've seen bad things happen there. And this officer actually got emotional when he told me he's never been afraid of bad guys. That's his job, to confront bad guys. But he is terrified at the possibility of Zohran Mamdani winning the mayoral race. It's very likely that whoever wins tomorrow's Democrat primary will become the next mayor. Well, right now, Zohran Mamdani has jumped ahead of Cuomo, who is his opponent, in the mayoral primary race tomorrow. New York will be decimated. New York, pardon my French, New York will be screwed. And a lot of people are fleeing the city already. This guy getting elected could seal the deal. You think of every far-left lunatic policy position imaginable, and Zohran Mamdani embraces them. Forgive all the debt for students, rent freezes for everybody, city-run grocery stores so there can't be any profit on grocery, and of course, the real coup de grace, the real icing on the cake, defund the police, replace police with social workers. And that's really what does me in. You might know about Gallagher's Heroes, the Fallen Officer Fund, where we assist families of fallen police officers who've been killed in the line of duty, and we publish and distribute first responders' Bibles. These first responder Bibles are King James Version with a spiritual fitness manual, and thanks to your generosity over the years, we have supplied thousands and thousands of these Bibles to police departments and fire departments and paramedics, EMTs, first responders all over the country. In fact, all over the world. We've sent, Joey Hudson has shipped, who's our executive director, Joey has shipped thousands and thousands of books to people all over the country, to departments. So, and I've spent hundreds of hours with doing ride-alongs with police officers. It has given me over the years a deep appreciation for what police go through, what law enforcement is all about. It's why I always give police officers the benefit of the doubt. We know there are bad cops. We know there are cops who make terrible decisions, but I believe that there are only really three heroes in occupational living in this country. There are only three heroes: police officers, firefighters, and members of the military. People who put their life on the line every day of their job. Every day. They don't know if that day will be this day will be their last. And for this young, smiling, charismatic Democrat socialist, embraced by fellow loons AOC and Bernie Sanders and all the rest of them, and look, it ain't a great choice, but there's just no debate that between the two of them, of course New Yorkers have to go with Cuomo. There's just no doubt. And I pray for my pal Curtis Lewa, because perhaps in the general election, and maybe in a weird way, and we ought to get Curtis back on the show, maybe in a strange way, having a radical extremist like Zohran Mamdani on the ticket, maybe that elevates Curtis into the mayor's office. Perhaps that's what it would take. I don't know, but it's horrifying to think that New Yorkers are on the precipice of electing this guy, this radical. If he wins, New York is going to be in so much trouble. And the people who are already disgusted with the condition of the city, again, it'll seal the deal for them. There'll be a kind of exodus that is unimaginable. And the only people who are going to inhabit New York will be the bad guys, the criminals. It's just so depressing. So I don't know. You talk about a Sophie's choice. Zohran Mamdani or Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, who got drummed out of the governor's office with the stench of, controversy and scandal. And this guy, but, at least Cuomo, he's not policy-wise what Mamdani is. And this sounds so petty of me. And I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. If New Yorkers are goofy enough to elect this guy, Mamdani, they deserve everything they're going to get. And it breaks my heart because I have always loved this city. To me, New York represents aspiration, world-class sports, theater, entertainment. There's always been a vibe here. And people say, well, no matter what, we'll always have that. No. Not with Mayor Mamdani, you won't. And it is chilling. Right now, his odds are above 53% on Polymarket as to who will win the Democrat nomination tomorrow. And my gosh, it's depressing. You know how dangerous this city will become if he eviscerates the police department, if he slashes dramatically funding for the NYPD. And to talk to these beat cops, to talk about these men and women on the street, and they just can't believe it. They're sort of in a state of shock that this could even be happening to their beloved city. People in law enforcement aspire to become an officer of the New York Police Department. It's the finest police department in the world. They deal with things that no other city has to deal with. But it's going to be 1,000 times worse if this, as he's described, Muslim socialist Zohran Mamdani wins. Of course, he's already torching the Iranian attack. He's already attacking Trump and the government for wiping out Iranians' nuclear capabilities. So anyway,